Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what meals we had this past week. Our dinners were easy to make, budget-friendly, and delicious. If you'd like to get some meal ideas for your family, then just keep watching. Tonight for dinner, I'm making poppyseed chicken casserole. I love this recipe because it's really quick and easy to put together. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Next, I'm going to take my casserole dish and spray that with some cooking spray. I'm then going to take my chicken. Now here I have about 3 large chicken breasts that I had previously cooked in the air fryer and placed in my freezer. I've thawed these out. You can just boil up or bake some chicken breasts, or you can use rotisserie chicken. That's quick and easy for this. And then in a bowl, I am going to mix up my cream of chicken soup. If you don't like cream of chicken, you could substitute it for cream of mushroom or cream of celery, whatever you like. I'm then going to add in my sour cream. And I will include the recipe for this in the description box below. And then I'm going to add in my poppy seeds. Now, if you don't like poppy seeds or if you can't have them for whatever reason, you can just leave those out. And then I'm going to season this with salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to mix this up really well. I'm then going to take my sour cream and cream of chicken soup mixture and just pour that over my chicken. Next, in that same bowl, I've just washed and dried it. I'm going to place some butter. The recipe does call for a full stick. I'm just using a half a stick because I just happen to have a half a stick open that I needed to use up. So I'm going to melt that in the microwave, and then I'm going to take a sleeve of Ritz crackers and crush that up really well. And then I'm going to add my Ritz crackers into the melted butter and give that a stir. Then I'm going to sprinkle my Ritz crackers over the chicken, and then I'm going to place this into my preheated oven and cook this for about 25 to 30 minutes. You're really just wanting the Ritz crackers to get nice and golden brown. And here is the finished casserole out of the oven. I'm just going to allow it to sit for 10 or 15 minutes just to cool a little bit. And here are the finished plates. So we have the casserole, and then I have some side salads tonight. Normally I like to serve this with some kind of green vegetable like broccoli or asparagus or green beans are all really good. But tonight we just did salads with some homemade honey mustard. I've shared this recipe before. It's super easy, but I'll be sure to link it in the description box below. And that's dinner tonight. Tonight for dinner, I tried a new recipe for $1 million spaghetti. I've had this recipe pinned for a few years, and I just haven't made it yet. My husband and I, we really have to be in the mood for spaghetti, and so I don't make it a whole lot, but I wanted to go ahead and give this recipe a try, and I'm glad that I did. We really enjoyed it, so here's how I made it. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I've got my spaghetti noodles boiling, and while that's boiling, I'm going to get started on the sauce mixture. So in this bowl, I'm going to add some softened cream cheese. Next, I'm going to add some cottage cheese, as well as the sour cream. And again, I will include the recipe in the description box below. And just a side note here, I do not like cottage cheese at all. So if you also don't like cottage cheese like me, go ahead and give it a try in this recipe. You honestly really can't even taste it in the end result. Next, I'm going to add in the parsley flakes, as well as some garlic powder. And then I'm going to give that a stir until it's well combined. Next, I'm going to spray my casserole dish with some nonstick cooking spray. I am having the recipe. The original recipe makes a 9 by 13. I'm then going to take half of my spaghetti noodles that I have drained, and I'm going to place those into the baking dish. I'm then going to take the entire cheese mixture and spread that out over the noodles. Once that's done, I'm going to add the other remaining half of the spaghetti noodles on top of that and just spread that out. Next, I'm going to add a layer of spaghetti sauce. I'm just using this marinara from Kroger. I added more sauce than what the recipe called for, but we like our spaghetti a little more on the saucy side, and you can use your favorite sauce, or you could also use homemade. Next, I'm going to add a layer of mozzarella cheese. And finally, I'm going to place this into my preheated oven and cook this for 45 minutes and then allow it to rest for 10 to 15 minutes. To go with the spaghetti, I'm going to cook some of this Texas toast garlic bread that I got at the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to bake it in the oven along with the spaghetti. And then for my other side, I'm just going to use the Caesar salad kit that I got from Aldi. And here is the finished spaghetti. And again, you'll want to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes before you serve it. And here are the finished plates. So we have the Caesar salads, the garlic bread, and then the spaghetti that I garnished with a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese and some parsley flakes. Dinner was really, really good. This was easy. It reminded me a lot of lasagna, but it was easier to put together. Like I said, I don't make spaghetti a whole lot because we normally aren't big fans, but it was really good. And just a quick note, the recipe does call for you to add ground beef to the pasta sauce, but I did omit the ground beef. I just kind of did a meatless night, but that was dinner tonight. Tonight for dinner, I'm making smothered pork burritos. There's a restaurant in our town that serves what they call El Bandito burritos. They are so good, and I've been craving one, but they closed a couple months ago. They should be opening a new location in a couple months, but so I can't get the burrito now. I went online and read their menu description for this, and I figured that I could try and make it myself. So here's what I did. I took some burrito-sized tortillas, and I've just warmed this up in the microwave for a few seconds just so it's pliable. Next, I'm going to add a layer of refried beans. These are just canned refried beans that I just warmed up in the microwave. I'm then going to add some rice. This is a packet of the Uncle Ben's Spanish style 90-second rice, so I've just cooked that in the microwave. I'm going to add some rice to that. And next, I'm going to add my pork. Now, here I have some leftover pulled pork that I had in my freezer. You could also use leftover carnitas, or you could also use chicken or steak, whatever you have. And then next I'm going to add my shredded cheese. Now I believe they use Monterey Jack cheese, but I just have some mozzarella cheese on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to add my cheese, and then I'm going to roll this up into a burrito. And then I'm going to place this into a greased casserole dish. I'm then going to add some salsa verde to the top and bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Instead of the salsa verde, you could use regular salsa, or you could also use enchilada sauce. And while that's baking, I'm going to make some homemade queso. You could just use store-bought, but the homemade queso is so good and it's super quick and easy. I will include the recipe in the description box below. It's from Love Missy XO. And here is the queso as well as the burritos. So once the burritos come out of the oven to serve it, I'm just going to add some queso to the top of the burrito. And then I just have some leftover rice and refried beans. And that was dinner tonight. Super easy and really delicious. Dinner this day was Christmas Eve, so normally we have family and friends over and we do all kinds of finger foods and appetizers and play games. This year we kept it a little bit smaller. We had my parents and then 2 of my siblings come over. We exchanged presents and then we had some snacks. I didn't make as much as what I normally do, but we did make our favorites. I did not get pictures of everything that I made. Honestly, it was so nice to visit with them. We haven't been able to do this in a while that I just forgot to take pictures. But what I did was I made a charcuterie board. I did cream cheese and pepper jelly, sausage balls, little smokies in the crock pot with barbecue sauce and grape jelly, pigs in a blanket. I made a veggie pizza, taco dip, ham pinwheels, shrimp cocktail, bacon wrap crackers, and then for sweets, I did some peanut brittle, sugar cookies, and crock pot candy. And then my dad brought over some homemade hot buttered rum that we enjoyed. It was so good. The next meal I'm going to share with you is actually our Christmas morning breakfast. I know this isn't dinner, but I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. Every year that I can remember, we've always done a big, huge breakfast on Christmas morning. This year, again, it was a little bit different. It was just my husband and I, so I didn't make as much as what we normally make. Normally, we do red eye gravy, white gravy, sausage, and then the things that I've got here. But again, with it just being my husband and I, what I made was some country ham, bacon, we've got the biscuits, hash brown casserole, chocolate gravy, and then I did some scrambled eggs, and then we have some condiments, and that was our Christmas morning breakfast. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. And for dinner on Christmas, normally my husband and I do a steak dinner, but for this night, we were still so full from our Christmas morning brunch, and we had been snacking all day on our leftover appetizers from Christmas Eve that I didn't really make dinner. We just continued to snack, and that was our dinner that night. For the final dinner, we just did some soup and salad. So I took some chicken and rotini soup for my husband and warmed that up on the stove for him. And then for me, I made a salad and I took some of the chicken strips from Aldi. I cooked those in the air fryer and I topped my salad with that, and I whipped up some quick homemade honey mustard, and that was dinner this night. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.